How to be a traveler. Well, being a traveler is not as simple as putting a plate on your car, putting an ID in your pocket. It goes with understanding, it goes with filing things correctly, it goes with asserting one's status and asserting one's sovereign authority with understanding. So, let's take a walk on that. People are not aware of their sovereign liberties. Kind of like contracts. Kind of like this contract right here. This contract basically states no matter whatever and whoever and somebody tries to tow it or anything, that they will be forcing a contract with a living human being, that this will be private property, not for commercial transactions, that there would be an initial contractualization that in your act that you would be accepting a $5,000 violation with your soliciting, with your loitering and harassment, with the unauthorized entry or seizure. And if you violate that, you agree to the contract. So that's the thing, like, people have to understand is that they have their contracts, but you have yours too, you know. And Thompson versus Smith, Supreme Court rules that private conveyances are a right. It's not a privilege. Thompson versus Smith. You can check that out. So that's what I have in there. So it's all probable cause. It's all law. It's all right. And this is not legal advice, even though I understand exactly what that means, because legal is basically saying that you need a license for something that would be otherwise illegal, because commercial transactions on a sovereign human being is illegal. That's why you need a license. It's because you can't do it the way the sovereigns do it without the licenses, because you would be committing a legal act against the living human being who has all their rights automatically. And you don't want to be a sovereign citizen, because a citizen is on contract, and a citizen has contracts with the government, and to be a sovereign citizen would be like an oxymoron. And that's why I tell you that sovereign citizens don't exist. So there's a lot of misconstruement going on. There's a lot of people pushing the misconstruement. Like, for instance, if there is something that is misconstrued, it's good to, you know, if anything, study whatever is being given to you at face value. Don't take it at face value. Take whatever you were given at face value and go and study it and see if that's correct, and know why it's correct, and know the laws and know everything that governs all of these things being correct or not correct. So, you know, you might as well be speaking legalese yourself. And if you want to get your straw man, you're going to have to learn how to speak like a lawyer and a magistrate, because that's who the people are that are using your trust. The people that are using it are attorneys, and the definition of an attorney is to turn over money. Just messing around. Yeah, attorneys, basically, they turn over money. That's what to attorn means. So, you know, Rufus Negro, get into the hole, into the wormhole. Yes, so as I was saying before I went off in that graffiti tangent, start tagging shit up. Basically, to be a traveler is to do away with the jargon of the driver's license, because the driver's license is the parasite that is taking away your civil liberties. It is the thing that is that you are in agreement to say basically, hey, maybe I'm not a sovereign. So it's like the establishment of the Constitution. The Constitution is a contract, is a con of sorts. You know, before that, you had inalienable rights that weren't in question. Nobody needed to question. Nobody needed to put it on paper and say, hey, look, you're this or that. You know, that never was the case because everybody was the other. Everybody was already that. So if you want to take someone and suggest that there's something, you have to identify what these things are. The unalienable rights are unalienable, so they are not identifiable because they are unalienable in all shapes and bounds of every corner of the law and every state of the law. So to understand that is to understand every aspect of law. Stuff that you studied in school, the stuff that's in the books that you don't want to study, you're going to have to fucking study it. And there's some people on YouTube, if you like to kind of like watch the channels that teach you about sovereignty, teach you about your rights that you should already kind of be knowing and learning yourself. Check out Sovereign Living on YouTube. Check out Enlightened Luciferian. A lot of those guys are paving the way. Like, you know, like Tim Turner. There's a lot of talk about Tim Turner I'm seeing on the internet. People are saying don't go after your straw man because it's illegal. That's bullshit, because Tim Turner was thrown in jail. If he really truly was, if the news is accurate and he didn't just sovereign his way out of that shit, which anybody can, because it's nothing but fucking commercial transactioning. So Tim Turner went to prison. On the inside of the grapevine, it was said that Tim Turner went to prison because he put a lien on the judge. The judge cannot have a lien put on them. No other citizen of the United States could have a lien put on them without a security agreement. That's what he did. He put a lien on the judge right then and there. You can't fucking do that shit. If you do put a lien on somebody, you need a claim attached to it in order to enforce the lien and make it viable. Otherwise, you're making a frivolous claim and it'd be presumed that it was frivolous. But yeah. Anytime I put a lien on somebody, I got the claim attached to that motherfucker, and it's thick. It's about as thick as my thumb. You can't even fucking debunk that shit every single time. So yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to be enforcing it in a way that makes it absolute, to the point to where you're operating in the capacity of what attorney would. You know, an attorney would file a lien on you. Attorney would file claims on you. Attorney would file insurance on you. And that's the thing that you have to do. Go after the pensions. Go after the insurance. Go after the, you know, what do? Do what they do. When in Rome, do as Rome. And that's it. Because they are the middlemen. They would be the servant, the public servant, acting as your acting as your oppressor. Yeah, because that's all they're doing. They're your servants acting as your oppressors. That's absolutely amazing. Well, as I said before, there's a lot of people out there that just want this to be an easy button situation. They want to push a button and, you know, this, for instance, this takes time, years of control and understanding to do anything that is like anything close to what I did. There's people out there that fucking burn the fuck out of my ass with a can. I'm just being straight real. My tags are not that great. My art is great, but my hand styles are, you know, I'm coming up on my hand styles. I'm just, you know, I understand what it is. So there is no easy button for shit in life. There is no easy button to understanding law, legalese, any of these things, because you're going to have people coming after you. Say, for instance, I was in a courtroom and there was a fucking prosecuting attorney, and he was like, "You're misrepresenting yourself. You're quoting law." I said, actually, law is common to everybody, because that's why it's common law at its root, and that's what you're using as a base, and it's based off the Constitution, oath of office, which you actually have given oath for. And then they're quiet after that. That's the thing. You have to understand what they understand. You have to know. Look at these organic little babies. People are growing vegetables. Unfortunately, it's a plastic pot. If you water that, then it's going to leach into the dirt. The dirt's going to be absorbing the plastic, and this is going to absorb it too. Always keep in mind to keep your pots in the ceramic glass, things like that. Nothing that is leachable. Anything that leaches in the stuff is just, you're just asking for it, whatever it's got in it. Very nice. Looks like these are tomato plants. But anywho, as I was saying about law, don't give up because you are in charge. You have hired these people to give you these IDs, to give you these things because you are the king and they are your fucking servants. And now they're masquerading as your oppressors. They administer your trust. They masquerade as judges and shit like that and attorneys. But all they're doing is turning over money. That's what an attorney is. And yeah, you just need to understand who you are. And I suggest all of you go and check out, Sovereign Understandings, Freedom Processes, Redemption Processes, and just go and study it and go and learn. Because no one can push the easy button for you. No one can do any of this shit for you. And stop asking me the redemption process because, I'm just going to be straight real with you, man. I've been working on it for like 3 years on the successful side and 8 years chasing my tail on it, studying law in general for like 8 years. And this shit was not fun. It was an exciting adventure. It had ups and downs. But in no means was it a piece of cake. And there's no one answer I can give to any of you guys without putting you in peril, because you're not going to be able to be ready for these creeps. They're going to come at you with everything they got. You're not going to know what to say to these people. You're not going to know what to do. And, just like the people on Amazon, they're going off, they're getting the numbers, they're seeing all this stuff. Look and see if it's true. See if that's the way you go about it first, And if you do use that, know how to back your shit up to know that, hey, this is something I was supposed to do. And if you do that, know how to keep your ass out of court, because they're not going to fucking tell the truth in court. It's a fucking kangaroo court. Don't ever go into the courtroom. Don't ever go in there. If you go in there, you have yourself to blame. These people, people in general, under contract, there's no taxation of anyone under a contract without representing them. So if a person has determinations for you, whether it be an attorney or a judge or anybody, they're representing you. And you tell them, hey man, if you got predeterminations for me in my trust, then you think you're representing me. If you think you're representing me, then you're fired. Simple as that. You can recuse law enforcement, judges, all of them, constables. They're working for you, man. And you just need to know who the fuck you are, man. On the cool, people don't know who they are. And that's the reason why there's all of this misconstruement. The misconstruement, it harbors the need for laziness, because the laziness and the misconstruement work hand in hand to make a person give up on what they need to do. And that is to follow through and never give up. Never give up, because it's not over until you say it's over, because you're paying for it. If you went to jail, keep in mind that you signed for it and you paid for it, because they're charging you. All crimes are commercial. And if someone is charging that name, they charged you a service. Let that sink in. Stay away.